Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25 with the Reuben Band, and as usual, we've got farming to do. Hey, Tina, how you doing? Matthew's here. Hey, Matt, what's happening? I'm doing great, thank you. I'm not 100%. I'm still kind of sick, but that's life. Oh, let me get comfortable here. Got my John Deere shirt on. I don't know where Carol bought this, but the only part that has any kind of thing on it is this little John Deere patch right here. I don't really like a lot of shirts that have a bunch of stuff on them, pictures front and back and all that kind of stuff. I like dress shirts, polo shirts. If I get T-shirts, they're usually somebody buys me something with it for a gift, because I wouldn't normally buy something that says, I'm with ugly, or I'm stupid, or I'm with stupid, or something dumb that goes on shirts. I wouldn't go out and buy stuff like that. So I have to get them as gifts. Lori's here. Oh my God, Lori, how you doing? And I unfortunately the shirt is black, and I say unfortunate because my chair here, which you can see a little bit of right here, the headrest, and the other chair is black, and so I kind of melt into the chair. So it makes my shoulders look funny because it's picking up the chair as part of me. You can see the chair is black, and it kind of, I don't know, freaks me out. Andy, is Andy here? Andy's here. All right. Cheers, Andy. Who had the first round? Scorpion. Scorpion had the first round. Scorp's working at the factory today. He's in the cave. I'm guessing. So we got school happening across the street. It's Teachers in Service Week, which means that the teachers are getting ready for school. School doesn't actually start for the students until next Tuesday, which is the day after Labor Day. So there you go. School's coming. You guys remember when I got the poke and I lost my sense of smell and taste and my hearing in one ear? It's the hearing part that's different. I've not heard anybody that lost hearing before. There probably is. It's not like I'm an expert at what goes on with people when they're sick. But if you remember, I lost hearing almost 100% in this ear. And that was, 4 years ago? It's when it first happened in 2020. And I contributed to... Oh, Frank's here. Hey, Frank, how you doing? I contributed to, getting the poke. I've been sick since then. In the last 4 years, I've been sick several times. And every time, it hasn't been anything spectacular. I get to where I don't feel good, and I may spend a few days in bed. But, when you're sick, especially if you've got some kind of flu, it's not like you're going to be out dancing a jig. Now, I didn't think I was going to die. I mean, I wasn't sick. Oh, my God, I'm dying sick. I just didn't feel good, I had aches and pains and fevers, and you just don't feel good, and so you just go to bed and sleep it off, you know what I mean? So a couple weeks ago, I got home from my stupid trip, and And I spent a few days in bed. You guys remember that. A week after that, I've lost the hearing in my ear again. And it just really ticks me off. Because the last time it happened, it took me 6 to 8 months to get my hearing back. And then I went 3 years without any trouble at all. You know, hearing in both ears, no trouble. I'll tell you what it sounds like. These are sound dampening headphones. So if I wasn't using them for the game and you just put them on and have them running, it's like you've got both ears covered. You can't hear anything from the outside. And I don't know if you've ever been sick and got a head cold and you got a stuffy head and you can't hear anything, you know, okay, that's what it's like. Only I have very little hearing in this ear at all, very little. It's almost all gone. And the last time it took me almost 8 months to get it back. It started about 6 months. I went about 5 to 6 months where I lost the hearing in my ear. And then I swear to God, I was on a live stream one day and I said, oh my God, I just got hearing back in my ear. It wasn't 100%, but it was more than nothing. And then it took another 2 to 3 months for me to get it all back. Well, it's happened again. And it's just frustrating because I know it came from that stupid poke. I wouldn't have any of this trouble. I probably would have got sick and I probably would have survived. Because anytime I've been sick since then, it's just been a regular cold or if it's the flu. And I distinguish the flu in that I very seldom ever get what they call stomach flu. My flus are different. If I get the flu, it's aches and pains, joint, you know, your muscles, your joints ache, and I get a fever. That's what happens when I get the flu. I very seldom ever get stomach flu where people get, you know, where they get pukey and you know, they lose their appetite and all that kind of stuff. I never get a stomach flu. Never had it. I usually get fevers and, you know, sinus troubles, things like that, respiratory stuff. But I'm frustrated because of this, because I know what caused it, you know, and I can't prove it in a court of law, but you go ask a doctor about it and they say, oh, we don't know nothing. They don't know anything about it. Oh my God, is this full already? All right, I'm doing Scorpion's trick to magically turn this in gold. Was it gold? No, it was straw. So that's what I'm doing. We'll just turn it into straw. And I'll go. Because this is corn chips. Corn chips. This is corn chips. I can't remember what they call it. Corn stalks. It's corn stalks. So anyway, long story, really long. I know it's not normal. This is not normal. When I had the flu 2 weeks ago, it was aches and pains and a fever. That's normal. That's normal to get sick, you know. Even sometimes with a bad cold, you might get a little bit of a fever and you know, you don't feel good and stuffy nose and aches and pains and things like that. That's all normal. What's not normal is losing your senses, especially your sense of hearing, and that's why I'm complaining. But the other thing is I am so tired. I'm just like, I can hardly hold my head up. I'm walking through the house with my arms down. I'm too tired to swing my arms like you normally would when you walk. And I'm just tired all the time. I just want to go to bed and sleep all day. That's not normal. Not for me. And I know that some people that got the what, one of their symptoms was they were just completely wore out tired for months on end afterwards. So, anyway, where am I going? If you hear it in my voice, if you see it in my mannerisms that I'm just kind of not with it, that's why. That's why I'm telling you all this. Is because first thing happens when I get online, people, how are you feeling then? I feel fine. I'm okay. Things are great. I'm good. But they're not really. I'm sick. But it's not normal. And I blame, you know what? I blame everybody. I blame the damn government. Hey, Rob's here. Oh, it's okay, Rob. I'm fine. It's just, I was sick a couple weeks ago. I did get a bad cold, flu, whatever you want to call it. And I was in bed for several days before I got better. Happens. It happens. It's just other stuff that's frustrating. You get what? Eustachian tube issues? What? Am I reading that right? Yeah, it kind of does. Is Rob back in school? I got better. Yeah, I've recently made a couple of videos and I can't. You can tell something's wrong with me. I can't read. I can't remember anything. Man, there's a lot of stuff to pick up here. So, Scorpion, did you play Hagenstadt? Or anybody else? Oh, okay, I got you. Lori. Spelling issues. So, how does that affect you? That thing, because maybe it's something. Maybe that's what I got too. I don't know. It's when you get a real bad wax buildup, it's kind of like that. But I know I don't have the wax buildup because I take care of that. I have ways. You're still playing on Hagenstadt. Since what? Since 2013? When did Hagenstadt came out? Was it in 2015? Farm Sim 15? Big Daddy's in the house. Oh, you guys remember when I said I was going to maybe come in if I felt like it, which I didn't feel like it, but I was going to do it anyway. I was going to come in on Friday and do Red Dead. As it turns out, I got really, really busy Friday, and it was 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon before I even had a chance to think about doing a live stream. And then by then it was too late. because I planned on doing at least 3 hours. Anyway, so I thought, okay, fine, I'll do it Saturday. I get up Saturday morning, and the way my house is set up, the bedrooms are on one side of the house, not including the apartment or Addie's room. But I have 2 bedrooms on one side of the hallway, master bath and master bedroom on the other side of the hallway. And there's a long hallway, and the hallway is fairly long because the rooms are fairly good size, and it's very wide. The hallway is, I don't know, a foot wider than most hallways going down some of these houses. It's a very wide hallway coming down. Anyway, the first room is Jeff's room, and the second bedroom is what I call my studio, my office. There's no bed in it. It's my desk, my library, my computers, everything I use to work. And so those are the 2 bedrooms. Now, those, if you were to go out into the electric panel of the house, there usually are circuit breakers that rule over certain areas of the house. Like the kitchen has its own breaker. Lori's milking a cow. Can't get it to function open and close like underwater. Yeah, you did. I remember that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Can't remember. Patrick's here. Patrick doesn't like government. I like the things that the government's supposed to be. In other words, the Constitution, the bylaws, things like that. It's the people running the country that I haven't got 2 cents worth of care about. They're corrupt. They're crooked. Of all the congressmen out there, I think there's only 2 that I would even walk across the street to talk to. The rest of them are all crooks and crooked at some point, in some way. My inner sanctum. Oh yeah, that's what I was telling you. Yeah, the house. Anyway, okay, so I was talking about the electricity. There's a breaker for the living room. There's a breaker for the kitchen. There's a breaker for the 2 bedrooms, mine and Jeff's. Then there's a separate, the master bedroom has its own breaker, and the master bath is on it. So that takes care of that side of the hallway. Jeff and I were both Saturday morning. I was trying to catch up on some stuff, getting ready to decide whether I was going to do the live stream or not on Red Dead, when all of a sudden everything went off. And I thought, oh, geez, we just lost power. And so the first thing is what happened. And I jump out of my chair and I open the door. My studio door is always closed because I'm either working or I don't want interrupted, or the cat's coming in, or the kids are coming in. So it's always closed. So when the power goes out, it is pitch black in here because I have those blackout curtains to keep the light out. So I jump up, I run out in the hallway, and the rest of the house is lit up. So I thought, okay, it's just my room. But then it's never just my room because I know that Jeff's bedroom is also on the same breaker. Now, Jeff has as much equipment as I do in his room. So between the 2 of us, we take a lot of power. And so I knock on Jeff's door, open it up, and I said, your power's out. And he said, yeah, so's yours. And I said, what happened? And he said, I don't know. So I took stock of everything that we had running, thinking that maybe we were running too much power. But we weren't, because I I had some stuff. It was early in the morning. I didn't have the air conditioner kicked up. I didn't have my TV running. I didn't have an extra. I have an extra fan that blows air around because that room is pretty good size. So, so I went out to the garage, and sure enough, the breaker was broke. So I flipped it back on, and we went back in the house. Power's back on. I purposely turned a few things off that I wasn't using, and I suggested Jeff do the same thing in case for some reason we were pulling too much power. And I started everything back up and went back to work with about half the room running. And click, it went off again. So I went back out and I checked. Yep, breaker's broke. And I told Jeff, I said, okay, breaker's broke again. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm going to flip it back on, which I did. I went back into the house, and Jeff said, the power didn't come back on. I said, really? And so I checked the rooms out. Sure enough, there's no power, and I threw the switch. So I went back out in the garage. I've turned it off till it clicked, and then flipped it back on. And I went back in the room. My room is still completely black. And Jeff says, something is weird. And because I said, well, maybe the breaker's bad, because they can go bad after time. And I thought, well, okay, I've got a spare, because I keep spare breakers around. And I said, I'll just switch the breaker out. But that's going to be a job. I'm going to have to turn the power off for the whole house to do that. So debating about that. By then, half the day's gone. Most of the day's gone by then. When I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I had no clue. I didn't even know how to find out what was going on. I'm no electrician. I've done quite a bit of electrical work, but I don't do it for a living. So I heard Carol talking to Jeff as I was walking by, and Jeff was telling Carol, yeah, half of my power's on. Because Carol went and said, did the power ever come back on? What's going on? And Jeff said, it did come back on, but only half the room. And I was passing by thinking about how I found out what's going on. And I thought, wait a minute, that's not possible. I flipped the breaker switch on. You can't have half the room. It doesn't work like that. So that means there's something else wrong, because that means power is coming to the room and it's lighting half the room and then it's stopping. So there's something wrong in the room. And remember, electricity is all in the walls. It's in the walls. You can't use Superman's vision to see what's going on in the wall. And so I ran back in. I said, what did you just say? And he said, half of my power's on. And I said, which half? And he said, well, this half on the wall. And I said, what don't you have? Okay, I don't have any of my computer, and I don't have the main light, the room light. And I thought, okay, then he said, but it didn't stay on. And I said, okay, tell me exactly what you did. And he said, well, you said you flipped the switch. I went back in the room, and sure enough, I had power. But he said, before you could get back in the house, I went over in this area right here, which is about halfway through the room. And he said, I grabbed one of the power strips that was on the floor, because I had kicked it out to check and see what was plugged into it. When I moved the power strip, the power went out again. It flickered and went out. And I said, okay. And so I said, I'm going to go back outside, flip the breaker back on, and I'll be right back. And I did. And I went to the outlet he had the strip on. I went to that. I grabbed the power strip and wiggled it, and the power went off, on, off, on, off, on, and you could hear it sparking. And I thought, oh, shit. So I said, I don't think it's the breaker. I think there's something wrong inside the walls. And so by then the day was gone, and I said, I'm not going to do this in the middle of the night. So Saturday was shot. So I waited the next morning, Sunday I got up, and I decided, well, we've got to get to that outlet. Well, he's got a dresser and a half a ton of crap in front of this wall outlet, this electric outlet. And I said, all that's got to come out. So empty the dresser of all your clothes. We'll have to take the drawers out, and we'll have to move that dresser because I can't get to the outlet. So that took us an hour or so. And I found out when I opened up that wall outlet, first thing I saw was black soot around the electric panel, the outlet. One of the top plug-in had a little bit of soot on it. I thought, okay, we got an issue here. I grabbed my screwdriver. I pulled the outlet out so I could see the wiring. One wire had burned the rubber, the plastic, off about an inch. You know, so it got hot enough to like maybe start a fire, which is scary. So, but that's not all I found. It's a regular outlet. Now, a regular outlet, if you don't know anything about electricity, you have three wires, but only two that have the power. You got a black wire and a white wire. If you're wiring a house, those two wires have to go to everything. And so it goes from one outlet to another outlet to another outlet, and then up to the light switch. It's got to power all this stuff, right? Well, normally you've got an outlet and you have two wires from the breaker going into the outlet, and then for you to get electricity to the next outlet, you've got two lines going out. So you've got a white and a black coming in and a white and a black going out. And then, of course, you've got the ground wire. That's why I say three wires. And so the first thing I noticed is there's too many damn wires on that outlet. So it's like they're using the outlet as a junction box. And so there's terminals on the outlet that you screw the wire onto. Then on the other side, there's another terminal that you screw the line to. Well, there's two lines going in and two lines coming out and a ground. And so I had to redo all of that. And I could go in a little bit further. If you look at these outlets, if you don't know anything about wiring houses and stuff, they have a switch, an outlet for idiots. That's what I call it. It's an outlet for idiots. There's on the back, there's two little holes, and you strip the wire, and you take the wire and you push it in that hole, and the hole's got little teeth on it that holds the copper wire in there, but it may or may not hold it real tight. It still could be loose, right? Now, that's the outlet made for idiots. A regular outlet that a paid electrician is going to use is on the side of the outlet. There's a post, and what you do is you take the wire, you strip it to the copper, and you bend that wire around that post, and then you screw it tight, so it's screwed in real tight. It can't move because it's wrapped around that post. That's the way you're supposed to do it. But for some reason, a few years back, they made the easy part where you just stick it in a hole. To me, that's dangerous because it doesn't hold very good. Anyway, I rewired the damn thing and everything's working fine. Long story cut off short there. But I'm not used to doing that kind of work anymore. And God, I was sore. Because I have to get down on floor level and I'm old. Getting down's not a problem. Getting back up. But so I had to rewire the house. But it's kind of scary when you open up an outlet like that and you see that it's been hot enough to burn. But that's where the sparking was coming from. That one outlet that I was talking about that had the plastic burned on it, it was loose as hell. It was halfway out of the hole. They'd used the little hole and it had come out and it was breaking. It was touching, then it wasn't touching, breaking, touching, wasn't touching. A car driving by in the street would make it, move. So I took a new outlet that I had. I've got a bag full of this kind of stuff. So I went and got a new outlet, and I put it on the real way. I screwed everything on with the screw and tightened it up good, put it back in. It works fine now, but that's why I didn't do that. That's a 2-hour explanation of why I didn't do Red Dead Redemption on Saturday. I didn't have power all weekend. Four light switches now. Yeah, I've done that. I just mentioned I had a whole bag of outlets and stuff and switches. That's why I'm replacing the switches. I'll tell you why. When I bought this house, it wasn't very old, and it's a custom-built house. And I had it inspected. The inspector on the report issued to us said the house was in beautiful shape. It was excellently built. He said the only problem that I can see with this house is the electrical, because the electrical is shoddy as all hell. And I already knew that, and the reason why I had a whole bag of outlets and switches is because for some reason they put the cheapest equipment they could in this house, and they cheaped out on the electrician. I don't know who did the electrician. I think it was. I think I got a pretty good idea who did it. And he's the cheapest electrician in town. I don't even know if he's a real electrician, but he used the cheapest outlets you could find. And how do you identify that? Every outlet in this house, when we bought it, you would take a toaster and plug it in and let go, and it would fall out of the outlet. And so people had the tendency of taking the two little things that stick in the outlet and bending them out so they would try to hold in. Every single outlet in this house, you plug something in and it falls out. So I've been replacing them as some of them were holding pretty good. Others were just completely, you plug it in, it falls out. Plug it in, it falls out. So I've been replacing them over the years. But, yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Beavis and Butthead. I'm too old for Beavis and Butthead. I know who they are, but I would never watch it. All right, I got to get going here. I got stuff to do on this big old field, so I'm not getting much farming done. I'm going to lose my voice, too. All right. Let's see here. Oh, I got Poopaloop to pick up. How come we didn't? Is this full? This isn't full. Why did they stop picking up Poopaloop? There we go. All right. Maybe they're making new. They're making new poop. They're poop-looping. All right. I think... Oh, she stopped. Oh, I haven't played this since power was out. Um, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but on this version of the game, the newer version that we've got now, the 25, when you hire a worker and then you leave the game and turn it off and you're going to come back it tomorrow, when you turn the game back on, this person's still working. She stops because the power's off, because you turn the game off. But when she starts back up, she's still working, except for the power was out. So that's why this person's not working. All right, they don't want to work. Why do they not want to work? Frank didn't want to work. Hamish doesn't want to work. Frank stopped working. I don't know. What's going on? Tractor's not running. What do I hear? No, the tractor's running. What the heck? Yeah, they don't want to work now. What the hell? All right, fine. I'm going down to that big field. We're going to put a little lime on it. As far as government goes, I stated my viewpoint. That's as far as I'll go. Blah, 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 blah. A junction box or wired for a GFI. I've got one GFI in the uh, bathroom that controls both outlets that are in on the sink level, and then I've got one out in the garage. Why there's one out in the garage, I don't know, but one of the outlets in the garage is a GFI. And then I have a 210 GFI, a big one, on the hot tub. And I installed that myself. I wired the hot tub myself. It's got its own circuit, and it's got its own ground. I took a big, long 20-foot piece of copper and stuck it in the ground and have a ground wire going into that. And then I bought this huge GFI for the hot tub, a 220 GFI. Okay, does nobody want to work on this farm? There's Rob. Come on, Rob. Rob don't want to work? What in the world is going on? Okay, somebody's going. Who's going? Steve. Yeah, leave it up to Australian guy. Jeremy says Farmers Dynasty 2 is coming in 2026. I thought it was already out. All right, let's grab this guy. What's Foster? Is that a beer? What happened? What happened? Tina didn't want to work. She shut herself off. Come on, Tina. Rob didn't want to work either. What is with nobody wanting to work? I'm going to go in the middle of the field and see if I can hire somebody. Tina doesn't want to work. All right. Am I the only one that has this kind of problem that nobody wants to work? Yeah, look, nobody wants to work. What is going on? AI worker. No, nobody wants to work. It's not ready? What does that mean? It says it needs pluing. It says I own it. This is weird. Anybody else have this problem? What in the world? Field not ready for this work or already worked. Well, we know it's not already plowed. Oh, this is not right. Okay, hang on. I'm going to try something. Let me see. Save it first. Almost forgot to save it. That would have been not good. Yeah, I've got a mod that needs updated. But the problem is, or not a problem. The issue is I'm not using that mod, so I don't want to take the time to update it. Yeah, I was all excited. I was going to play Red Dead. All right, I haven't played Red Dead in a long time. I'll play it this weekend. Have some fun. Wasn't fun. The power of Christ compels you. What's Lori doing? Going out fishing. Cool. Have fun. Nope, it's still doing it. What's Scorp wanting me to check? Yeah, this isn't it. This is a power assist. This isn't it. What the? All right, I don't know what the heck's going on. Hang on. UPS. And my driving wasn't done. I had to go to the doctor yesterday, so we had an all day trip yesterday. We left about what 7 o'clock in the morning. Got home about 4:30. That's the problem. I go to the doctor and it's an all day thing. Plus you got the driving. Yeah, it doesn't want to work. What is going on? It's the marvelous AI in this new game that they said was the best ever. Doesn't work. Anybody got any ideas? Because I'm not able to think right now. Well, let's go to this, I guess. Although I can't remember how to work it. Well, anybody remember what the controls are? I don't remember. What's that white line? I can't remember how to turn it on. Let's see. Hey, long time no see. New souls in the house. I can't remember the button to turn on assist. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things are getting better. Was it always this slow? Nico. I thought you went by Nick. Wasn't I calling you Nick? I could say that's a Mario. It's a Mario. It's a Nico. Well, tell us your troubles. Well, that'll keep our mind off of our troubles. How about that? Isn't that how it works? It's kind of like that thing that you have a pain someplace, and somebody kicks you in the shin real hard, and says, "Do you still feel your pain in your ear?" No, no, I feel it in my shin now, you bastard. I'm waiting for somebody to say it. You know how you don't see somebody for a while, they come back, you can't remember their name, and then they say it, Pete. No, that's not it. It's like they're telling you their name, and you're saying no, wasn't that? It was something else. Oh man, all at once? That's terrible. Yeah, pain redirection therapy. Scorpion's on his way home, everybody. Get off the road. We also lost our dog this year, Nico. Oh, this got a headland on it, doesn't it? Oh, I see. There's a headland here. We remember. I remember I told everybody about your music channel because I used it at night to go to sleep. This driver assist is just crappy. Yeah, I wondered what you've been up to. I had not any clue it had been such bad news. It's hard to hear all of that. Tim's here. Combine's big, huh? Did you get to go inside of it? That's always the fun part when you can climb in the equipment. See, this thing should be able to follow the line. but it doesn't. It just marks the line, and you can follow it to a certain extent. Bagan also got to climb up into a John Deere 8RX 410. Farm equipment has come a long way from when I was in high school back in 2014. I'd only been retired 1 year in 2014. Now it's been 12 years since I retired. And I'm still kicking, just not very high. I just banged my tractor up. This is my favorite tractor. I used to drive a D6 Cat. I've driven a D9 Cat, but that was in construction. The D6 Cat I drove when I was pulling a combine with it. In the old days, the combines they weren't motorized. It was a piece of equipment you pulled behind something, and it was chain driven, chain and belt driven. So, if you don't know what that means, that means that the wheels and the equipment has chains and belts on it, so that when you pull it, it runs the chains and the belts and everything works. It's kind of like a bicycle. If you lose a chain on a bicycle, you ain't going nowhere. You can pedal all you want, you just sit there. You put a chain on it and you pedal it, and it turns the wheels and stuff, and off you go. So it's not powered, it's human powered. In the case of these combines that we were running, there were 3 of them, and they were powered by the motion of movement. So we had to pull them with something. Well, we just so happened to pull them with D6 Caterpillars. And so my job was to drive the Caterpillar and pull the combine. And the guy in the combine, his job was to lower the headers and make sure everything's running right. And they did that with a big wheel. That had a big wheel on it that was like the wheel of a ship. And they used that to make the headers go up and down and to control things. And they had levers and stuff like that they worked. And nothing was covered. The combines were completely open. There was no top on them. You just climbed on them, and you stood there like you were steering a ship. And the Caterpillars again were open. They were open. There was a roll bar on it, but there wasn't a roof of any kind. So you're just out in the sunshine. It was hotter than hell, 100 degrees out, and you're out there combining. Whatever it was, you were combining wheat, corn, whatever it was on this combine. And every bit of dirt, like look at the dirt coming off of this plow here. Well, as you're driving the combine, it's the same thing. You're beating dirt up. And that dirt had no place to go but on you. So by the end of the day, you couldn't even see my face because I was sweating so bad the mud was running off. My clothes were at an inch of dirt on them. I used to have to go. I was staying with my brother and his wife because the job wasn't where I live. It was in a different part of the state, and I was staying with my brother. And I would go home at night and have to take 3 showers before I could go to bed to get all the dirt off. And oh God, was it hot! It was an experience, though. I enjoyed it. In the old days, even before that, they pulled them with horses and oxen. Big Clydesdale type horses and ox, things like that. I'm not quite that old. I didn't run that one. I ran the one with the cat, though. I can't imagine working back then with an air conditioner with a combine like they have today. Unbelievable. That would be so great. It would have made a whole lot different job out of it, I'll tell you that. It was a dirty job, and it was hot, hard work. We had the best food, though. The farmer I worked for they had the farm wife, and she hired a couple girls from town, and they would come out and they would cook all day. They would make lunches and dinners and all that kind of stuff, and bring it out to the field for us, and we ate like kings, I tell you. But it was great. I remember the great big gallon jugs of sweet iced tea that they'd bring out for us. Great big thick roast beef turkey sandwiches, and it was steak and eggs for breakfast and steak for dinner. It was great. We ate really good. We didn't have very much strength for eating, man. We didn't chew too fast. Wore ourselves out. Oh, thanks, Matt. Matt's reminded me of soup du jour. Carol went to lunch today at our local Dairy Queen, and she picked me up some chicken strips with gravy, a big pot of gravy that you dip the chicken strips in. Man, it was good. But came with a soda, and it's Mountain Dew. So this is Mountain Dew, even though it says Dairy Queen on it. And as usual, when I get these kind of sodas, I tell them I don't want ice in it. And sometimes they don't care. Sometimes they give me a dirty look. And I can understand the dirty look because these kinds of drinks, think of this. If they filled this up with ice before they put the soda in, you're not going to get very much soda. It's going to be all ice. And so they'll look at me weird when I ask for no ice because we're going to have to give you it all in pop. They don't like that. They don't make money that way. But I always tell them, I said, well, I live stream at 1 o'clock and I won't drink this till then. So I don't want the ice melting on me. So could I please have no ice? And so then, okay. Yeah, that's great. They don't mind then. Oh, man. That's cold. I took that out of my fridge, by the way. So it is Mountain Dew. It's sparkly. And it makes you really Jones for one. And then we have to dance it off later. I won't be doing that, by the way. I'm so tired. Aiden was going on 2 in 2014. Really? And what grade's he in now? I can't remember. I couldn't keep up with my own kids. I can't keep up with Addie, my grandkids. All right. So, soup du jour is out of the way. Thank you, Matt. Well, Patrick, you're going to have to talk to the moderators because they're the ones that do that. Moderators, do you think that Nick should get a tractor for his suffering? I'd give him more than that, but then I don't like to see people suffer. I mean, it's life. It really is part of life, but that's no consolation. With Chewy, when we lost Chewy this year, it was tough, but he was suffering. He really was. There you go, Nick. New tractor for you. Take care of it. She has a permit to get one. She's old enough to drive, but she still just has a permit. She doesn't have anything to drive, so it doesn't matter whether she gets a license or not. And she didn't have a reason to have one yet. Hey, it's a barbecue. Barbecue. I haven't had a barbecue burger in a long time. Is Nick still here? Tina's getting hungry. What grade's Addie in? Hell, I don't know. I think she's a senior this year. She's 17 in just a few days. Her birthday's on the 7th of September. So yeah, she'd be a senior this year. I'm the only one that'll take her driving, so she doesn't get much experience. Yeah, she was just a toddler. What's that? Let's see. 2008, I think. 8. I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, you're talking about Aiden. Um, I saw the, what grade is Addie in? And then I saw Andy talking about Aiden, and I was still had my mind on Addie. Yeah, okay, it was Aiden. It was, because Addie was born in 2008. Seventh grade, huh? I used to be in the seventh grade. I missed one grade. I think I missed the second grade. I went from the first grade to the third grade. They boosted me up. Santa Cat. We're going to be coming up a Santa Cat here in just a few months. I can't believe it. Summer's almost over, guys. And we still haven't had a day of anything hotter than 70 degrees. We only got 70 degrees a couple days this year. The rest of the summer was in the 60s. And I still haven't figured out why this guy why I can't hire a worker. Santa Cat. That's a cute one. I wonder if they like wearing those clothes. Bet they don't. There's something wrong with people that dress their animals in clothing. Get the hat off. Yeah, this cat's. It's probably AI. That's probably an AI print or something. All right, now what? Is it still not going to let me do this? No, it's not. Why will it not let me hire a worker? I don't get it. Ain't right. What's going on? AI worker mode. Working with automatic work direction. Why won't it let me do it? What if I reset it? What does it do? Nope. Craig won't work. John won't work. Miss Nelson won't work. Nobody wants to work. I'm going to go down to that big field and see if it worked down there. Get the hat off. Nap time yet? No nap today. I made it through. Oh my God, is it gonna work? Is it? All right, who finally decided to drive? Frank, good old Frank. Frank's gonna do it. You go, Frank. All right, we'll let Frank go. Let's see, what else do we have to do? Do I still have straw to pick up? Oh, we got poop to haul. You know what I didn't do? I was going to remod my tanker to hold more fluid, and I didn't do it. Okay, let's see. There's cattle here and there's cattle there, so I should have another pile of poop up this way. Talk about a load. Yeah, we're gonna dump it too. Oh, did I already? What is going on? Why is that piling up poo outside the area? That's weird. Manure. It says there isn't any. No manure. Just leftovers. Leftover manure. Let's see, we just have the cattle here. If we go down to the other farm down there, there's pigs and cattle. Oh, shoot. I hit the side of the bridge. Careful. You're gonna break something. Look out, moo cow. They getting short on feed? Maybe. Man, I should have got closer to the fence. I hope my traveling's done for a while. Tired. I gotta go Thursday, but it's only a couple miles away, the dentist. And I forgot to ask him if that payment I gave him included the crown. I don't know if it did. I only gave him $1,700. That seemed a little light. I was expecting to spend up to $2,000 to $3,000. Dentists are expensive, man, I tell you. God, I need a haircut again, don't I? Cow's running in slow motion. What the hell? That's weird looking. All right, that's going to take a while. Let's go find something else to do. Oh. Is this it? It's over now. That's it. Is Frank still moving? Yeah, he's still moving. Where is Frank? Is Frank not here? I thought he was here. I can't remember. I don't remember. Why didn't it move me? You got to move it, move it. You got to move it, move it. You got to move it, move it. How come it didn't? It didn't. I meant to put it right here. I don't remember. Oh no, I do. I do have two seeders, planters. All right, we're going to go to work with the planters. Why is this planter? Oh, I remember. This is the planter that I had leased, and I turned it in and purchased it, so it doesn't have any junk-a-doodle-doo in it. Let's put some junk-a-doodle-doo in. Some kind of seeds. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Tina's planting the field. Gonna go lurking, huh? I do a lot of lurking. Know what I mean? I need to remember. I need to plant some. Or did I? Did I already plant? Beans? Some kind of cocoa beans? No, it wasn't cocoa. Coffee beans. Oh, they're yeah, I did. They're in a greenhouse. That's right. I don't know if I like that. I wanted to plant them. I forgot. Gotta have a greenhouse for that. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. One more poop pickup. Still doing the tutorial. The tutorial. Yeah, ever since I fixed my electricity, my lights aren't right. My lights got turned back to default settings, and it's too bright. I need to adjust that. I don't want to do it while I'm working, while I'm recording, because you know everything might go to hell in a handbasket if I'm doing it when I'm trying to live stream. So try to tone it down a little bit, maybe add a little contrast. I look a little washed out. I don't know if I even put a poop station in here. I think I did. Oh, I didn't stop and get the pig poo. Oh, shoot. Oh shoot, I ran over a water bucket and it didn't even move it. What are they made out of? Jeez. Oh, man. I'll have to get out and open the gate. Get a truck painted. You've not played Farm Sim before? You're still in the tutorial? I don't think I ever used a tutorial when it was new. I just usually bumble around till I get it done. All right, more manure. I wonder. I can't remember if I got all the. Okay. I had to restart the game. I forgot. Let's do flight. Where are we? Okay. Yeah, I didn't pick up the pig poo, did I? No, there's still pig poo there. I was going to check and make sure I got all the straw picked up because I don't remember if I left any on the field. Nothing up here. There I did. I left some on these two fields up here. Okay. Let's grab this guy and head up, 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 up here. Where's my farm? Here. Okay, so it would be these two fields right here. Whoa! What was that? How'd that happen? That was kind of weird. This is soybean straw. Which, I don't know, must be different than straw. To drive very slow. Yeah, I should drive very slow, but I'm impatient. Getting sleepy. I may have to borrow Jamie. I need to get another tractor. I don't have anything to pull that cedar with. I should have done this a while back. I should double up on these cedars. Get all this work done. Oh shoot, ran right in that tree. I got my nap glasses on. Driving. Scorpion. Oh shoot, I just fired Scorpion. Miss Nelson's working now. Better leave her alone. Too bad. Man, I was joking earlier, but I really am getting sleepy. Jeez. I even slept in this morning till 6. Looking at the two streams, YouTube is so far behind. Okay, I just finished the row I'm on. And YouTube is still going, still going, still going, still going. Still going. Alright, YouTube just caught up. Man, it's so far behind. Twitch is a little bit like right now. I'm done on YouTube, and Twitch is done now. So Twitch is a lot faster than YouTube. YouTube's way far behind. Okay, I'm gonna start YouTube. You wait for it. Now, I'm going. It still hasn't started. Still hasn't started. Still haven't started. I'm done with that roll, and it's just now starting on YouTube. Man, that's so far behind. For anybody that's watching Final Fantasy, I finished the expansion. Well, I finished the expansion a while back, but there's quest lines that you do post game until the next expansion comes out, and that's the part I just finished. So in the next video I record, I will be in Stormblood, the second expansion. Now you guys won't see that until next week. So the one on Friday will be the last, or close to the last, if it isn't the last. The one on Friday should be the last one of Heaven's Word, the post Heaven's Word. And then next Friday will be the start of the new expansion. And then after that, we'll have 3 more expansions. If I live long enough to finish that series. You fell asleep on your keyboard. I used to do that all the time. Every week we'd have a taco night. And on taco night, it was either taco night or pizza night. And I would set up 4 computers in what they used to call a landline, and we would have Jeff would be on, I'd be on one, Jeff would be on one, and 2 of his friends would be on the other 2, and they would come over, and we'd have a pizza night or a taco night, and we would just play games all night. And there were a couple of times Jeff would come into my office and he would gently shake my shoulder and say, "Dad, you need to go to bed. You fell asleep about a half hour ago." And I'd look up and I would have the keyboard marks on my face because my head would go down onto the keyboard and you'd see these little square indentations on my cheeks. and drool all over my keyboard. I'm not going to get this. It's going to be full. Well, I might. It's only 77%. Which one? The pink one? I'm going to make sure they wash it. I don't know who's running it right now. You had pizza? I didn't know that they made a haggis pizza. Oh, I've got another field over there that's got straw in it. Oh, man. I bet that's regular straw, though. Maybe not. What kind of pizza do you usually get, Andy? Oh no. Who's going to give first? They're playing chicken over there on the highway. Why is the ice cream truck in the wrong lane? His ice cream's going to melt. Well, I got it, but I didn't realize there was another field. So is that regular straw? Yeah, because it was barley. Okay, this is regular straw, which means this one just needs to go into storage. Or a little something. Okay, it's not quite full, but it's full enough. It's 91%. It's only 9% off, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a full load out of it. What's going on over there? Why is that guy? Why did he why is he on the wrong side of the road? You're in the wrong, mister. You better move. I can't push him. The stupid game won't let me. If I get far enough away, they despawn. Yeah, they're going to be piled up all the way to Timbuktu. So if I get far enough away, they will respawn. On an iPad, huh? How do you afford all that stuff? iPads and what's that other little thing that everybody's getting? A Nintendo Switch? Those things are expensive as a computer. I just assume buy a computer. And they don't make many games for it, as far as I can tell. You know what? I never did get that flipper all picked up. Let me go pick up the pig poop. The pick up the pig poop. Pup, 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 pup. All right, so we're gonna go all the way down to Copper Creek. God, I almost put it right in the fence. Yeah, piggies. My piggies are getting fat. Wonder if I can start selling them. They were little babies. Do you remember when I put these in? They were babies. Because remember, I kept saying, oh my God, look how little those things are. I just ran over a pig. I don't know. I think I'll plant potatoes in this thing here. Looks like traffic started moving again. Sausage by morning. Bacon. I like bacon. I just got ran over by a shadow of a plane. Yeah, it's amazing that we don't have as many accidents as we have, that we don't have more. People are so distracted now with their telephones. They're sitting there, with their phones, just doing this stuff and not watching the road. And if you think about it, most of the highways now do a minimum of 55 miles an hour. But like here, our freeways are like 65, 70 miles an hour. And if you think about it, you got cars coming towards you and you're going towards them, and you're only about that far away from each other when you pass. I mean, you got the middle line and you're off the middle line a foot or so. They've got the middle line, they're off about a foot or so. You're only about 4 or 5 feet away from each other when you pass at 70 miles an hour. It would only take just a little bit of a turn to, bam. It's amazing we don't have as many accidents as we any more than we have. Hey Dennis, how you doing? Thanks, Tina. I'm not feeling bad. It's just frustrating, you know, be so tired and then not be able to hear anything. If I'm lucky, it comes back a lot faster than it did last time. It took me almost a year to get it back last time. His hand signal is the finger. All right, so we got a little bit of straw here. I'll haul that in and dump it in the storage. No, I didn't know that. They're coming to consoles, huh? I'm surprised they hadn't already. I mean, Euro Truck's been around for a while. You know, about twice as long as American Truck Simulator. I'm surprised Euro Truck hadn't come out long before now. You know, I haven't thought about that for a while. I should set my wheel and stuff up and do a little trucking. God, I haven't done that in 3-4 years. Looks like Miss Nelson is done with that big field. All right, I'm going to drop this here and we're going to move this tractor over. No, I didn't. I took Jamie's tractor, didn't I? Tina's still working. I thought Tina left. Do you have Xbox or PlayStation, Dennis, or do you have both? I have both, but I'm guessing they're probably for the newer version of the game, which I don't have. My newest I have is PS Pro or PS4 Pro and Xbox S. All right, I'm going to take this poo up and away to the sail point. I got a truck on the sell point. Come on. Did I do that? I bet I did. Come on, you can do it. Come on, dump truck. You can do it. Push it. All right, ramming speed. Ramming speed. There we go. All right, let's sell this real quick and we'll call it a day. What do we get for poo-poo? That's a lot of poo. No, seriously, that's a lot. That's a lot of poo. Probably a case tractor. Almost there. All right. $108,000 worth of poo. That's not bad considering there's some crops that I won't make that much money on. Anyway, time to go. I just have to, when we come back, I'll have to decide what all I am planting. Because I've got to do some serious seeding. And, oh, what do we got here? Hey, we got 10,000 coffee beans. We can start making some coffee. Alrighty, that's a story for another day. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. I'll see you on Thursday if I'm still up above ground. Cockapoo-poo. ATS and ETS are coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox XS. Yeah, that's what I figured. So, yeah, I wouldn't be able to play them on that anyway because I'm not going to buy those. Hell, I could get a decent computer for any one of those Xboxes or PlayStations. Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'll see you on Thursday. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Enjoy your games. And ta-ta for now.